Hi, I'm Mark Gibbs with The Great Outdoors, and today we are at the Great Outdoors Nursery in Austin, Texas. This is a wonderful time of year if you're looking at getting a Christmas tree to maybe think about the option B, living trees that you could take after the season and plant in your landscape have become very, very popular for people who prefer a renewable resource in their landscape. And this is a great way to repurpose something and get double use out of it. It also makes a wonderful project to include your kids in and maintaining the plant when it's in your home, and then making it a project to go put out in the yard. And then you and your generations of family will watch this mature and become an anchor in your landscape. And that's something you can all do together and grow together with. So one of the big things we talk about here, these guys are grown outdoors and they're almost all grown in full sun. We're going to talk about a few of the options. We've got the Japanese blueberry over here. We've got the Atlantic blue cedar. We've got the Deodora cedar. Then we've got the Arizona cypress. And then we've got this beautiful leyland down here. And then we have a nice little gem magnolia. Okay, these are all evergreen plants that would go out into our landscape and do very well here in Austin. The Arizona and the Deodora are going to actually be very drought tolerant over time. So that's another benefit and a learning thing you can use with the family. Now, if you wanted something more interior based, the Norfolk Island pine is a wonderful choice for that. And again, it's going to be a highlight plant inside. So bringing in the highlight here, all of these guys, because they're grown outdoors in full sun, when you get it home, remember it needs to be the longest amount of sun where you're going to put this. It's got to be near windows, as bright a light all day long as possible. That's going to make a big difference in how well it does. You're also going to want to make sure the tree is portable enough that you can turn it toward that light. So about once a week, give it a quarter turn to get it through the Christmas cycle. So it's getting still even light on all sides of it, and you don't start having it weaken up on one side or begin to bear and lose needles or something like that. Secondarily, you're going to want to have large enough saucers to capture this water. You can see we've got the Arizona staged in a pot here, and we've just got a small saucer in the bottom of that pot. When I go to water this guy, I'm going to let that water run on through. I'll check the saucer after a few minutes and see if it drank up what was left over or if I need to pour it off. You don't want to have them standing in water longer than a couple of minutes. If it drinks it back up, that just tells you to tighten up your water cycle so that it's not that thirsty again. We don't need it to be soggy wet, but we also don't want it to be pulling away from the sides of the bucket. Secondarily, if there's going to be ventilation, fans, things like that, it may parch a little faster. So on some of these pines, you may want to be with a mister every now and then just to make sure, we're so dry with the air inside, heating and air conditioning, that it can get a little dry. So spraying them is not going to be harmful to it. And then another thing to consider is use that container for a nice color option. It'll look great for the season, and then when you take this out to plant it in your landscape, you'll have a new container you can put on your balcony or your deck. I like to mention these small conical rosemaries or these little baby Norfolks. Say you're apartment bound and you're not going to do a larger living tree. Well, these rosemaries and these little pines make a great little centerpiece. They're easy to maintain. There are all sorts of miniature lights and ornaments out there that you can put on them. And you can see this guy in the red pot came out really, really nice. It has an attached saucer, so we're already taken care of there. Little conical ivy, little 6-inch Norfolk Island. So there's some great options for the apartment dweller too. And then again, after the season is wrapping up, those can go in a container and out on your balcony. So think about using a living tree, watch where it's going to be and make sure you're getting that right water, and then be prepared for where it's going to be placed in your landscape. So when it comes time, maybe you can be preparing the hole earlier. So when you're done decorating and everything's taken off after Christmas, you can put it right out in its new home. It's dormant season for these guys right now, so they will just wake up where you're planting them and not even know anything's gone on to them, minus a little glitter or tinsel that may still be on there. But otherwise, if you have more questions on these guys, let us know at The Great Outdoors. We'd be glad to help you.